Hello and welcome friends. Today we will be discussing our answer writing questions on geography. I am Sarthak Singh and I have cleared the civil services exam twice, and we would be taking up discussion for live mains answer writing for the geography questions that we have for today. I am sure all of you must have got the questions by now. So today we are taking up a question from geography, that is, despite India being one of the countries of Gondwana land, its mining industry contributes much less to the GDP in percentage. Discuss. So this is a previous year question. It was asked in the year 2021 and it was a 10 marker question. So we will have to write a 150 word answer for this. We will be given two sides of the A4 size sheet, as we all know by now. So despite India being one of the countries of Gondwana land. So first and foremost, for us to know and interpret in this question, that Gondwana land is a geographical region which was having higher presence of mines and minerals. So despite being one of the countries of Gondwana land, the mining industry in India contribute much less to the GDP as a percentage. So here we are asked GDP in the form of percentage. So this is the question, and in this question, as I was talking earlier yesterday, that we need to have the idea of the core demand and the non-core demand of the question, and we have to address both these parts while writing the answer, so that our answer is holistic and we get higher marks. So despite India being one of the countries of Gondwana land, so discussion about Gondwana land is going to be a non-core part, because it is just a statement that is mentioned. So we will address it, we will not ignore it, but it is the non-core part. So we have to know about this. Then, since the mining industry is contributing less to the country's GDP, this is going to be the core part which will form major portion of our body, which will take up major portion of the word limit that we have for the question. So I hope all of you have written it. If you have not yet written it, you can please write it and send it to me on this mobile number. Note down this number for any future reference. You can connect with me. I would be providing you my individual feedback, and we can also have a face-to-face discussion. 98878 44044. So this is the number. And now coming back to the question that we were discussing. So in geography, first and foremost thing is to highlight core part and non-core part. Then second most important thing is, if you can add a map in the geography question, whether be it a India map or be it a world map, please do so. Because in geography question, a added map would give you extra marks and it looks good in the presentation. So introduction, body and conclusion, that we are going to discuss for this question on Gondwana land and why the mining industries are contributing much less to the GDP. So now what all can be written in the introduction? As the question starts from the Gondwana land, so we can introduce the geographical location. We can introduce the geographical aspects of Gondwana land. So this can be one of the areas of introduction. Then another way of introduction can be the contribution of mining sector at the rate GDP. So in the introduction, we can have either by writing the geographical features of Gondwana land, geographical locations, and we can also begin with mentioning the current contribution of mining sector in the GDP, if we have that data, if we are having that data and we can recall that in the exam hall. So ये चीज हम mention करके introduce कर सकते हैं. Then what we are going to write in the body part. So body is going to form major portion, and what are we going to write? First we will write the bottlenecks that mining industry faces. Bottlenecks that mining industry is facing. And this is going to be a multi-dimensional answer when we will mention bottlenecks from various areas. For example, geographical bottlenecks would form the first point. Then we will come on to the economic bottlenecks. Then we will talk about certain security implications in the area. Then we will talk about technological bottlenecks. Then we will talk about certain challenges of political nature that reduce the contribution of mining industry in the GDP. Then we will talk about certain IR policies or the trade policies that we are able to import cheaper raw materials or cheaper goods from foreign countries. We are able to import cheaper metals and minerals that are to be found in India. So importing is cheaper rather than excavating in India. So that is also a factor that is reducing the mining industry's contribution in India. Then also, since we are asked as a percentage of GDP, so as a percentage of GDP we can also highlight that although in absolute terms our mining industry is contributing good and well, but what the challenge is that our GDP is service sector based, and when GDP is service sector based, so major contribution is coming from the services sector. So that is why as a whole in the GDP mining sector is contributing less, because service sector focused is our GDP. So अगर service sector से ज़्यादा contribution आ रहा है तो mining sector का वो contribution as a percentage of the GDP will appear less. So this also you can highlight in one of the points in your body. Then we will highlight the steps that have been taken. Before concluding, we will highlight steps that have been taken by the government for improving the mining industry's contribution in GDP. So these are the steps. So steps you will be mentioning in the before concluding your answer, that what are we doing to tackle this challenge of less mining sector contribution in the GDP. So वहाँ पे आप steps लिखेंगे. Then we will conclude with, you can conclude with a conclusive way of conclusion, or you can add a futuristic conclusion that after all these steps we hope that Indian mining sector would become a powerhouse in the coming years. So all of this you can write and you can mention. Now discussing, coming on to the points. First we will have to highlight that India is facing a paradox. So in introduction you can use the word paradox. So India is facing a paradox where when it's rich in minerals in Gondwana land, but the contribution of the mining sector to the GDP is approx 2.2 to 2.5%. So this data, now you can remember this in case there is again a question asked on the mining sector, or certain similar question is asked in the geography or in the environment portions. Then you can remember this data that mining industry is contributing 2.2 to 2.5% as a percentage of GDP. So this data can be mentioned in the introduction. Then we are looking at what are the bottlenecks, major bottlenecks that are responsible for this low contribution. Also I would like to suggest you that please make this diagram with Indian map in your geography answers. This will give you higher marks. So a certain kind of Indian map that you can highlight to show that where the regions of Gondwana land are present, you can show their geographical presence, and it would be even better if you can highlight the areas where coal are found, where diamonds are found, where other minerals are found. You can highlight some of those areas by yourself. But please do make this map and try to make a map, whether be it a map of India or be it a map of the world, in the geography answers, because a geography answer without a map is, in my opinion, it is incomplete and you will not get good marks. So make a map, highlight the areas of Gondwana land, southern half of the supercontinent Pangaea, and the rocks of central region that are in part of Madhya Pradesh and Odisha. So you can highlight these areas, and these areas are being known for their Gondwana rocks. Gondwana rocks, and these rocks are rich in coal, iron, manganese, mica, aluminium, etc. So this information you can mention in the introduction or just before the starting of your body. You will mention a map, you will highlight the areas. You can also show the contribution by mining industry in the GDP of other countries. You can also highlight the data from Australia, that Australia has around 7% contribution of the mining sector. So Australia में 7% contribution है mining sector की GDP में, whereas India has 2.2 to 2.5%. So you can also show a comparative nature of the low mining industry contribution in the GDP. So you can use this comparative approach as well. Then coming to the reasons for this bottlenecks or the reasons for the failure of mining industry. First and foremost reason we will write is the governance failure. Governance failure in the states where the minerals are found. There was the issue of left-wing extremism. You can highlight that as well, left-wing extremism. Then you can highlight the environmental issues, that EIA norms not followed. EIA norms, environmental impact assessment, which I am sure all of you have studied for GS3. Environment norms not followed. Then we can write there is no regular hearing for the environment impact assessment so as to take locals' views into the account. Then you can highlight low participation by private players, low private participation, that also as a cause of low mining industry contribution. Then you can highlight the corruption and scams in coal block allocation, that also reduced the pace of mining in the GDP. Then you can write certain industry specific technological problems like the use of obsolete technology. So we need to upgrade the technology. There is poor value addition, and also that there is a poor value addition industry in India. So जो value addition है for refining a found out coal और mineral, उसका refining करने के लिए और उसको market में भेजने के लिए, वो value addition, that industry is lacking in India. So that you can highlight. Then you can highlight it the issue of tribal rights. The tribal rights that is giving rise to left-wing extremism, that we have already mentioned. Then there are environmental issues like pollution that certain mining activities are causing. Next we will write the steps that the government has taken to improve this mining industry contribution. So initiatives like reforms in the mining sector, that have begun. There have been also been the indications for technological advancements and regular EIAs, technological advancements in the mining and regular EIAs that are being mandated and that are being increasingly done. Then we can write diversification into high value chain. Diversification into high value chains. So diversification that is beginning into high value chain and ensuring high value minerals are being mined and being used. So these are steps that are being taken to address the bottlenecks, and eventually in the coming future we can expect that there, in the conclusion you can write, in the coming future there will be certain improvements in the mining industry as a percentage of GDP. Also here we can mention the service sector contribution. So the economy remains service sector. The startups also are service sector focused. Startups remain service sector focused. Then you can highlight the labor issues and labor unrest. So all of this hamper the mining sector and mining industry in the country. So in this way, an answer would be complete, answer would be holistic, and you would be getting better marks than your competitors, but you will have to do this on a daily basis. And when you do this on a daily basis, you can also do this through the PYQ ACE program, wherein we will be discussing each and every answer face to face, and your improvements would be gradual, but they would be doing on a daily basis. And by the time you reach up to the mains exam, by the time mains come, you will find yourself well equipped to deal with all such questions and to deal with the answers, or also to deal with the bouncers that UPSC is sending in its GS papers. You will be able to deal with all of these challenges, and as a result you will score a good marks. So if you have not yet begun answer writing by now, it is high time. Start PYQ ACE program and write the test. We will have other discussion. We will have the face-to-face evaluation for you, and for any doubts you will be able to directly reach out to me. So that is the purpose of mains answer writing, that you will write daily and you will improve daily. So there is no point wasting your time, wasting these 3 months just by reading the content. Nobody is going to get selected only by reading the content. You will have to do the answer writings, and with me you can do the PYQ ACE answer writing, previous year questions for every topic of GS we would be taking up. Let us look at the next question that I have brought for you. Differentiate the causes of landslides in Himalayan region and the Western Ghats. So this is again a previous year question that has been asked in 2021, and here we are asked to differentiate between the causes of landslides. So as we know, landslide is a recurrent feature in the Himalayan region as well as in the Western Ghats. So both of these mountain system or ranges in the country have landslides as a common feature, but both of these will have different causes of landslides. And these different causes, why do we have different causes for Himalayas and Western Ghats? तो ये जो different cause होता है, it is because कि एक तो जो rock का quality है, जो rock quality है, there are soft rocks and somewhere there are hard rocks. So वो rock quality है वो differ करता है. Then there is the presence of rivers, antecedent rivers, वो change करता है कि landslides होंगे या नहीं होंगे. Then there is the phenomena of weather. There are sudden weather, cloud burst or frequent rainfalls that also forces the land to slide down. So that, and also the human activity, there is certain large amount of human activity happening, although human activity is happening at both the places. But in certain regions of Himalaya, we find a lot of tourist activity is there. All of us, most of us from Delhi usually go to Himalayas during the long weekends or during vacations. So that is becoming a increasingly major cause of landslides in the Himalayan region. So all of these differences that we are asked to highlight. So differentiate the causes of landslide in the Himalayan region and the Western Ghats, and again this question is for the 10 marks. So let us start to discuss what all we are going to write. And those of you who have written your answers, you can send them to me on the number given to you. If you have not noted down that number, you can note it down now. 9887844044. So इस नंबर पर you can send me the answers. We would be checking it and you would be getting the feedback on your written answers. Now coming to the what all do we write here. So सबसे पहले तो हम ये लिखेंगे, there has to be a definition for landslides. आपने landslides को define कर देना है. Then if possible you can make map of landslide prone area. लैंडस्लाइड प्रोन एरिया का आपने मैप बना देना है, बिकॉज आई मेंशन ज्योग्राफी का कोई भी आंसर बिना लैंडस्लाइड के मैप के कंप्लीट नहीं होगा. सो यू मेक दिस मैप. So you make this map of India, and now you highlight the regions that are affected with landslides. So there are certain regions that are more affected with landslides, and if you remember, if possible, highlight the regions where landslide happened very recently, where you are able to recall them. They happened in Kerala and they happened in Uttarakhand. I am leaving up to you to find out and fill up this. Not just mentioning the areas, not just highlighting the areas, and you can write in this box areas affected with landslides. So you can highlight, and this way your presentation would get a unique touch and your marks would improve. And this would be even better if you can highlight the regions, specific locations wherein landslides happen in Western Ghats and in the Himalayan ranges. So I am leaving this up to you. You fill in the blank and mention it in your answer sheets. Then we will be writing the body. So what are we going to write in the body? As we have asked differences between Western Ghats and Himalayan region. So difference जो है Western Ghats और Himalayan region का, you can very well make a table. If you wish to, that would give a good presentation to your answer. You make a table highlighting the causes of differences. Then after we have highlighted the causes, you highlight certain precautionary measures. Before concluding your answers, it is good if you highlight certain precautionary measures, whether it be early warning system, or whether it be early warning system, or whether it be NDMA guidelines on landslides, or be it be various initiatives that the state governments are taking on their level to reduce the menace of this landslides. The disaster of landslides is taken care of and there is less loss of life and property. So this way you can write an answer. So let us now start with the introduction. Landslides are defined as a phenomena of rapid or sudden movement of large masses of rock which usually occur on steep slopes under the effect of gravity. Steep slopes, effect of gravity. has to be mentioned in your answer in definition of landslides, because without these words your definition will lose its weight. So landslides defines phenomena of very rapid or sudden movement, and also the rapid and sudden movement. रैपिड एंड सडन जो मूवमेंट है उसको हम लोग लैंडस्लाइड्स बोलते हैं. सो दिस वे यू कैन मेंशन लैंडस्लाइड्स. इफ यू रिमेंबर हाउ मच परसेंटेज ऑफ एरिया ऑफ इंडिया इज affected with landslides, that also you can highlight. This also I am leaving up to you as a food for thought, that you will find the areas of India, percentage of area of geographical area of India that is affected with landslides. Or you can begin with a geological survey of India report, that how much area is being affected by landslides. Some of you have used this method as well, geological survey of India report, that I have seen in your answers, which is a very good approach and it is a good introduction. If you highlight certain data from economic survey, from reports of governments which are authentic and which can be used, so this also can be a way to begin your answers. Then it's a common feature. We will highlight that in Himalayas and in Western Ghats landslides are a common feature. Then what are the causes? So there are certain natural causes. So सबसे पहले आपने natural causes highlight कर देने हैं Himalayan region and Western Ghats के. So जो natural causes हैं landslides के, the Himalayan region is tectonically unstable. It comes under very high risk zone, that is zone 5 of the earthquake mapping. So ये एक tectonically unstable zone है. Then there are steep slopes. Then heavy rainfall and cloud burst. Steep slopes, rainfall and cloud burst. ये सब हिमालयन रीजन्स में होते हैं. हमने ये उत्तराखंड में देखा भी है. ये सारी चीज़ें एक नेचुरल कॉज है, क्लाउड बर्स्ट, स्टीप स्लोप्स, और जो जोनिंग है वो टेक्टोनिकली अनस्टेबल है हिमालयाज की. ऑल ऑफ दीज आर द नेचुरल कॉजेज ऑफ लैंडस्लाइड इन हिमालयाज. देन फॉर वेस्टर्न घाट्स natural causes are, there are steep slopes in the Western Ghats. These are the submerged coast of India. Due to submergence of Western Ghats, the collision of Indian plate with Eurasian plate and origin of numerous smaller rivers that give rise to landslide. So यहाँ पर small rivers हैं, small rivers. So this way, these are the natural reasons. Then there is heavy rainfall or the orographic rainfall. So यहाँ पे आपका ये जो टेक्निकल वर्ड है orographic, ये मेंशन होना चाहिए वेस्टर्न घाट्स वाले नेचुरल कॉजेज में, बिकॉज विदाउट दिस योर पॉइंट ऑफ नेचुरल causes of landslides will lose its weight, because this is a very important term that we have to mention in the answer. Then we will be writing anthropogenic causes or man-made causes. So you write anthropogenic cause after you have written the natural causes, and then you highlight the anthropogenic causes, whether be it the infrastructure development, or be it the tourism, or be it the rat hole mining that is leading to lead blasting that is leading to landslides in the Himalayan region. So all of this are your anthropogenic causes that are giving rise to landslides in the Himalayas. Now we will write anthropogenic causes that are giving rise to landslides in the Western Ghats. So urbanization, increasing needs of cities, that is leading to development in the Western Ghats, that is a cause of landslides. Then we have sand mining. Sand mining as important cause of landslides. Then you can highlight the nature of rocks, that nature of rocks is relatively young and soft in the Himalayas, and it is old and hard in the Western Ghats. So Western Ghats are relatively tectonically stable zone that we have highlighted. Tectonically stable है comparatively Himalayas से. तो वेस्टर्न घाट्स में लैंडस्लाइड्स की जो फ्रीक्वेंसी है वो कम होती है कंपैरेटिवली हिमालय से। ये चीजें आप मेंशन कर सकते हैं। देन वी विल हाईलाइट द प्रिकॉशनरी मेजर्स, द अर्ली वार्निंग सिस्टम, एनडीएमए गाइडलाइंस, द वेदर फोरकास्ट कि जब बहुत ज़्यादा क्लाउड बर्स्ट होने वाला हो तो उससे पहले हम लोग उसको बता दें। रेगुलेटिंग द नंबर ऑफ टूरिस्ट्स दैट कैन बी डन, regulating tourists, so regulating tourists can be done, timely environment impact assessment can be done. So all of these points that are your multi-dimensional points, one is from infrastructure point of view, one is from weather forecast, one is from environment point of view, then we have NDMA guidelines, the governance point of view. So all of these points which are from different dimensions, this will make your answer stand out, and this is what that you will learn from PYQ ACE program. So बिना PYQ ACE को करे हुए it is very difficult for us to understand and learn the nuances of what is required from us in a UPSC mains exam. So that is why I am telling you again and again, please start writing answers, please start sending answers to me on the given number, and I am there to give you your personal feedback, your personal suggestions that would be there after looking at your answers, after going through your answer copies. So please start writing answers, don't waste your time, don't waste your attempt. If you do not want to write answers to UPSC questions, it is very difficult to get selected without that. So if you want to get selected, if you want to get into the list, answer writing is the basic minimum requirement that is there to get selected. So you will have to start to write answers that are filled with content. Finally, we can come on to the conclusion. You can write conclusion. I have seen most of you have written good conclusions. So conclusions are fine and that can be written. So mountain ecosystems are crucial for sustainable development, scenic beauty and the diversity of the country, but it's our imperative to reduce the losses that occur due to landslides, and a whole of government and whole of society approach is needed to tackle landslides. तो ये सारी चीज़ें आपने अपने कंक्लूजन में मेंशन करनी है। और ज्योग्राफी में कई बार ऐसा होगा, स्पेशली ज्योग्राफी के क्वेश्चंस में, जहां आपको ऐसा लगेगा कि कंक्लूजन मेंशन करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, लेकिन वहां भी आपने कंक्लूजन की एक या दो लाइन ज़रूर मेंशन करनी है। आपने ये नहीं सोचना कि कंक्लूजन रहने देता हूं या कंक्लूजन की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है। आपको ये नहीं लगना चाहिए कि कंक्लूजन के बिना काम चल जाएगा। कंक्लूजन नेसेसरी होता है एक क्लोजर फीलिंग देने के लिए, जो आंसर आपका पढ़ रहा है एग्जामिनर उसके लिए। तो आपने कंक्लूजन लिखना है और आपने ये बताना है कि वी कैन टैकल द लैंडस्लाइड्स बाय होल ऑफ सोसाइटी अप्रोच। 2 लाइन का कंक्लूजन लिखिए, लेकिन लिखिए जरूर। और कौन कौन से कंक्लूजन जो आप लोगों ने लिखे हैं सही है या नहीं है, वो हमने आपको इंडिविजुअली बता दिया है आपके मैसेजेस के रिप्लाई में। सो नीड ऑफ द आर इज टू अप्रोच, बैलेंस्ड अप्रोच हमें चाहिए एनवायरमेंट कंजर्वेशन और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट के बीच में। सो दिस इज द क्वेश्चन दैट वी हैव डिस्कस्ड। देन अगेन, if you have any doubt, you can ask to me on the live chat that is going. I can answer your doubts. Otherwise, if you want to note this down, any of this points or the map, you can note this down. Next, we will move on to another third question of geography that we have highlighted for today. It is going to be a 15 marker. So we are now beginning with the 15 marker that we will have. Now we have a 15 marker. How do ocean currents question, how do ocean currents and how do ocean currents and water masses differ in their impacts? Water masses differ in their impacts. How do ocean currents and water masses differ in their impacts on marine life and coastal environments? Marine life on marine life and coastal environments. So this is the answer. So this is the question that we are asked, and now for answer we have been asked to give suitable examples. So now it is very important for us to give suitable examples for this question, because without examples you are not going to get marks from the UPSC examiner. So you will have to write answers with examples. So this is a 2019 question. It's a 15 marker. Please read it. Please brainstorm it. If you can write it and send this, even better. Those of you who have sent this earlier, we have replied to them. How do ocean currents and water masses differ in their impacts on marine life and coastal environments? Give suitable examples. So this is the question that we are going to discuss. Now we have to highlight what's the core demand and what's the non-core demand. How do ocean currents and water masses? So सबसे पहले तो हमें geographical phenomena जो है ocean currents and water masses को पहचानना है. That what are these? How do they differ in their impacts? इनमें difference क्या है? इनका impact अलग अलग कैसे होता है? Differ in their impacts on marine life and coastal environments. So coastal environments और marine life के ऊपर इनका क्या different impact रहता है, वो चीज़ें हमें देखनी है ज्योग्राफी के लिए. और एग्जाम्पल्स आपको इनके लिखने हैं. अगर आप कोस्टल एनवायरनमेंट के ऊपर लिख रहे हैं तो आपको उस कोस्ट का नेम मेंशन करना है, दैट ऑन विच कोस्ट दिस thing is happening, whatever you are mentioning as a result of ocean currents or water masses. And so now since we have seen the question, let us start to write the answer. Introduction, body and conclusion. Introduction, body and conclusion. So this has to be. So now for this question, how do ocean currents and water masses differ in their impacts on marine life and coastal environment? Give suitable examples. So for introduction, we can begin by define ocean currents and water masses. So ocean current and water mass को आप लोग define कर सकते हैं. Then we will highlight the impact of ocean current, and this will further get divided into marine life and coastal environment. Marine life and coastal environment. And next we will highlight impact of water masses, again on marine life and coastal environment. So ये चार चीजें जो आपकी कोर रिक्वायरमेंट है इस क्वेश्चन की, वो आपको मेंशन करनी है. एंड यू कैन पुट दीज इन द बॉक्स इफ यू विश टू गिव इट अ बेटर प्रेजेंटेशन. सो ये चीजें आप लिखेंगे. देन वी विल कंक्लूड विद द कंक्लूजन दैट वी विल राइट. सो ये चीजें आपको लिखनी है. नाउ कमिंग ऑन टू व्हाट टू राइट. सो ओशन करंट और वाटर मासेस की डेफिनेशन बिल्कुल बेसिक है. Ocean currents are the continuous, predictable and directional movements of sea water that are driven by gravity and wind. Gravity and wind or the Coriolis force that drives ocean current, which I am sure we all are aware of the basic definition from our understanding of the physical geography, the basic physical geography textbooks. I hope all of you have studied up till now. So these are primarily horizontal movements, ocean currents. And ocean currents example you can mention Falkland current, Canary current, and you can even show them in the world map. So if you wish to show the examiner that about your understanding of the concept, you can use this world map as well. So this way you can make America, this way you can make Africa, then you can make certain portions of Europe, then you can make this as Russia, then you can make this as India, then you can make certain Southeast Asian nations, and like this. So this way you can make, and you can highlight certain countries as well, like this you can write Russia, India, Australia, North America, and South America, Africa. And you can highlight in this map, you can make arrows to highlight the ocean currents. You can highlight the ocean currents, and you can use different pens or blue or black pen to highlight the warm currents or the cold currents. So this way you can use the different pens, and this would look very appealing to a geography examiner, somebody who is checking geography. Maps like these are very appealing, so please, that is why I am suggesting you try and make a map in each of your answers. This is a world map. This I would have used for highlighting the ocean currents that is being asked. And then after ocean currents, we will define water mass. So like air mass, water mass are the body of common formation history, which has also physical properties that are distinguished from the similar physical properties that are distinguished from the surroundings or the nearby water. So ये similar physical properties हैं water masses की जो distinct हैं from surrounding water से, and these properties include temperature, salinity, and chemical isotropic ratios and other physical properties. So all of these are the qualities of a definition of a water mass. And then you can mention North Atlantic deep water mass. North Atlantic deep water mass. So this can be highlighted as a example of water mass, as we had done while writing the definition for ocean current. Now coming on to the impacts. So you can highlight the impacts of ocean current, and first we will be highlighting for marine life, then on the coastal environment. For marine life, you can highlight the impacts. There would be, the impacts can be good as well as negative. So for good, you can highlight they carry nutrients for the organisms that live permanently attached to a place. Then you can highlight there is redistribution of heat. So the redistribution of heat takes place, nutrients takes place through ocean currents for certain animals that live attached to a place. Then there is thermohaline circulation. So thermohaline circulation also is there. All of this you must have studied in your geography classes. So thermohaline circulation. Then what else can we add? These helps in the reproductive processes of certain organisms. Marine life की बात हो रही है. reproductive processes of certain organisms, ocean currents can help in them. Now coming to coastal environments, ocean currents are helpful in fishing by making the waters suitable for fishing where cold and warm ocean currents meet. Then they maintain the coastal temperature. कोस्ट का टेम्परेचर भी मेंटेन कर सकते हैं. वार्म करंट विल मेक द कोस्ट वार्म, cold current will make the coast cold. Then these help in the functionality of ports. The warm ocean currents help the ports in higher latitudes of Europe to be functional only because of the presence of warm ocean currents. So ports are functional, infrastructure is to be used. Then they bring rainfall. Rainfall in the coastal environment. Then they provide the then they also provide the desiccating effect that we know. So they can also contribute to the desertification. The cold current, as we know, will contribute to the desertification. So desertification also gets a boost from the cold current. So this is a impact of ocean current. So cold current would also result in the desertification. So now coming to the impacts of water mass. So what are the impacts of water mass on marine life? They can threaten marine life. They can be a threat to marine life. They can be a threat to marine life, water mass. You can highlight the 2014 warm water mass blob that harmed the marine life. Then this can also be beneficial for certain marine organisms because of downwelling. Downwelling of water mass. That also brings oxygen to deep ocean, which is beneficial for the benthic organisms. So benthic organisms हम लोगों ने environment में पढ़े हैं, हम लोगों ने prelims में. So benthic organisms के लिए जब downwelling होती है water mass की, so it can bring the oxygen to the deep inside the ocean as well. So that is helpful for the benthic organisms. Then it can help in growth of plankton, phytoplankton. Phytoplankton growth. The cold water mass will help in the growth of phytoplanktons, which is a nutrient for other organisms in the marine food chain. Then now coming on to the water mass impact on coastal environments. So a water mass will ensure that a coastal environments there are seasonal variation of winds. So due to the changing nature of water mass, seasonal nature of winds can also change in the coastal environments. Then water mass can lead to cyclones in the coastal environment. So cyclones, अगर जो sea surface temperature हम लोग 27 degrees and उससे above का लेते हैं, so उसका जो है that can be possible due to a warm water mass. So अगर warm water mass रहेगा तो वो cyclones में formation में help करता है और disaster जो है एक cyclone का हम लोग पढ़ते हैं that results. So coastal environment के ऊपर ये एक point हो सकता है. Then it will increase the temperature and humidity. Temperature and humidity को ये change करता है coast पे, जो impact of water mass है. So you can also mention the examples of the African coast. So इन सारे points में हमें जब भी चीजें mention करनी है वो हमें example के साथ mention करनी है. So coastal में आप ports में example दे सकते हैं, यूरोपियन पोर्ट्स का. यहाँ पे हमने जो इसका सीजनल वेरिएशन ऑफ विंड्स है उसमें आप एग्जांपल दे सकते हैं द अमेरिकन रीजन्स का विच फेस सीजनल वेरिएशन ऑफ विंड, देन थर्मोहेलाइन सर्कुलेशन जो हमने देखी है मेरीन लाइफ की वजह से, देन यू कैन हाईलाइट सर्टेन एरियाज वेयर फिश प्रोडक्शन इज वेरी हाई नियर द पेरुवियन कोस्ट, सो ऑल ऑफ दोज एरियाज यू विल हैव टू मेंशन एज एग्जांपल्स। सो फिशिंग का एग्जांपल हो जाएगा पेरुवियन कोस्ट, डाउन वैली ऑफ वार्म वाटर हो जाएगा, और एक थ्रेट जो था ब्लॉब, ब्लॉब वाज अ name of the water mass that was a threat to the marine life, this you can mention. So these examples are being asked, so you will have to keep on collecting all such examples to write in your answers in the questions that the UPSC is going to ask, and we have discussed all of these examples for you, and for more such questions we would be coming up with the relevant examples when we discuss them in the PYQs program. So those of you who want to write the answers, get them evaluated, please connect with the program, and therein you will also get the face-to-face evaluation which will help you improve on a everyday basis, because without a credible feedback from someone it is very difficult to improve. When your mains copies are not checked, it is impossible for you to make changes and appear for the exam after you have made certain improvements. So to get your mains copies checked, to get yourself evaluated, you can definitely connect with me, you can definitely contact me on this number 98878 44044. So this way we would be helping you. Finally, coming on to the conclusion for this question, conclusion may we can write, so both ocean currents and water mass have a significant role to impact on the marine life and coastal environments, but we should be working towards sustainable blue economy, and we should be appearing for the, and we should be targeting for the achievement of sustainable development goal number 13 and 14. Sustainable development goal number 13 and 14. 13 is climate action and 14 is life under water. So you can mention sustainable development goals in your conclusion. 13 and 14. 13 is climate action and 14 is life under water. So all of this relates to the marine life, coastal environment. So life below water. 14 is life below water. So this you can mention, and in this way you would be done with this answer. This is a 15 marker, so it is highly suggested that you make a map because you would be getting lot of space to write, and also mention the examples that we have discussed while answering this question. So without examples you would get lesser marks in this question. So please try and mention answers along with the examples wherein they are asked specifically, and otherwise also please be in a habit to substantiate your point with examples, with data, with facts, so as to do a better answer writing that will fetch you more marks in mains. So next again you can stay connected. We will be posting questions again tomorrow morning for again day 4 of the mains answer writing that we will be doing tomorrow. So please take care, keep writing, send your answer keys, send your answers to me for evaluation on this number, and finally hope to see you again tomorrow. All the best. Thank you.